Everybody, this is Ignacio from 598 Los Angeles, and in this video, I want to go over how much should you be spending on Facebook ads in order to see tangible results. So anytime I start working with a new client, I always get asked the same question every single time, and that is, how much do I need to spend in order to see results? And unfortunately, the question to that answer is, it really depends. It depends on two major factors. The first is, how quickly do you want to see results? And secondly, how much are you willing to spend and expect to see zero results from and be okay with that? What do I mean by these two things? In terms of how quickly you want to see results, the more money you spend, the faster your ads will be shown to the audience. So if you only have $5 a day, your ad will only be shown to a small group of people. On the other hand, if you are spending $100, $500, maybe even $1,000 a day, your ad is going to be shown to a much larger group of people. So what does this do? This allows you to come to a decision and a conclusion on how well your ad is performing. If your ad has only been shown to 500 people, so it only has 500 impressions, you're not going to be able to make a decision because there just hasn't been enough data behind that ad in order for you to either scale it up and spend more or cut it and try out a different ad. On the other hand, if you have $500, you might be able to get your results and your decisions made in 2 or 3 days because you are showing it to so many more people and it gives you more testing data to go off of. The second important factor is, how much are you willing to spend and see no result from this? What I mean is, when you are just starting out with Facebook ads, you likely don't have any idea where to start off, nor do you know what audience performs best with your specific ad creatives. So you're likely going to be spending a lot more money than you normally would until you find the perfect audience. And if you are a small business owner, it's important that you don't spend so much money on Facebook ads that if you have no sales coming from it, you will go broke. I always tell my clients, when they ask me how much should I spend, I tell them whatever amount you feel comfortable with, that if we don't get anything, your business won't be hampered and you won't be having to close down, you won't be having to make sacrifices in order to repay that amount of money you spent. If you're a large business, obviously these types of thresholds don't hold you back as much, but if you're just a single one-person band, it might be a little bit more difficult to spend large amounts of money. So what do you do? What do you do if you're a small business owner, you don't have a ton of monthly revenue, but you still want to do Facebook ads because you know that it's crucial for you to scale and grow your business? My personal recommendation, if I was consulting with a client or if I had to do ads for a business myself, I would start off with $5 a day. $5 a day isn't an absurd amount of money, but it is enough to start testing out an audience. What I would recommend is you start off with one interest-based targeting audience. Depending on what you're selling, if you are selling cooking knives, then maybe your interest will be chefs, restaurant lovers, cooks, barbecue aficionados, things that align with and relate to cooking knives. Once you find 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 audiences, you're going to test each one of those out individually. So for audience A, you're going to assign $5 budget to it. Once that $5 has been assigned, you let that run for a few days until you see the results that come from it. Then if you see that it had a couple purchases and that the return on ad spend aligns with what you are okay with, so if your threshold might be 2 times return on ad spend and you see that, then you increase that budget to 10. If those results continue to scale, then you continue adding more and more until you realize that you spend $20, $30, $40 a day and it's still being successful. At that point, you want to transition into another ad set, another interest that is similar, that possibly will give you another tangible result. And you do the same test, $5 a day, $10 a day until you don't see any further results. If you don't see any results, you cut it and you go into another one. Continuous process until you have a long list of interest that have been successful, and you have found the perfect audiences and ad creatives. This will give you perfect cold audience and new customers that didn't know anything about your business to now fall in love with what you have to offer. So I hope this was useful and you were able to take away some useful information. I know it might have been quite a lot of information, but just remember, Facebook ads doesn't need to be something daunting, and the amount of money you need to spend shouldn't be something that scares you. It should simply be enough that you feel comfortable and that it's something that you're willing to spend and take out from something that you don't need into something useful like Facebook ads. So I'll leave it at that. I would like to invite you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll be coming out with videos 2 to 3 times a week with different Facebook training videos, tips, updates, things that are going into place in the Facebook world that I think will be useful for business owners, Facebook marketers, and anybody who is interested in this type of industry. Also, the link to my Facebook group is in the description. In it, it's called the E-commerce Scaling Secrets. We go over different Facebook tips, how to scale your e-commerce business through Facebook ads, what things to keep in mind, how to set up your store's Facebook ads, how to install your pixel. We go over the problems and troubles that everybody's having and help each other out to essentially grow your business as much as you can without having to gather videos from everywhere and possibly get confused with all the information that's out there. So I hope that was useful, and I look forward to talking to you guys real soon. Take care.